Brodes Media.
I never saw this team as a team. It felt like a bunch of guys that were extremely tight because they knew there was pressure, and that's not our fault. You don't think the Dodgers have had pressure to win championships? You don't think the Yankees have pressure to win championships? You don't think these teams have pressure to win championships? That's called being a pro athlete. That's not a, hey, this market is too tough thing. And if you think that's the case, then go play in Miami. What you can't do is this. What you can't do is say it's so electric and sick that we can have 31,000 people sell out an open practice or a inter squad game. And you can't boast about how awesome that is and how great it is, and then cry that we want to see you compete and swing the guys. You were getting no hit throughout the playoffs again. I'll tip my cap to Blake Snell. I think he had a good game. You have to do more than what you've been giving. You've been giving us the minimum, whatever the minimum is. Subtract 50,000, and that's what you're giving us. Sorry if we're disappointed and upset with that, when all you did was say, you want the smoke, it's time to go, playoff mode, let's have at it. That was the attitude and the swagger that you guys sort of walked into the postseason with, and you're getting pantsed. And I said this from the top. There's a world where you face this Dodgers team and you lose a heartbreak 5-game series. But I'm proud of the fight, and I have pride in what you did. This is going out with a whimper. And we'll play the Alec Bohm audio here. We'll get to what Nick Castellanos said, but hear the fans. This was when Nick was at the play. By the way, talk about stupid decisions this team makes. The fact that he even got to second base, woof. He should have been thrown out, okay? So it's just another thing that this team does that is just blatantly losing baseball. It's losing baseball that you just got lucky. But when you get lucky, you got to make the most of it. Anyway, tell me this fan base, oh, we're evil. We're just terrible.
Ryan deals. Castellanos with a base hit. In the score is Bohm. Real Muto right behind him. Castellanos is safe at second. It's a one-run game.
So Nick Castellanos, he said this. It's super stimulating and euphoric. I don't know why I have a very difficult time saying that word. If everything is going for us, but then it's a very uphill climb when you can feel that everything is amplified negatively. Like if you do something bad, you're going to get a negative response. So it makes it harder to play freely. If everything is going good and we're rolling, it's a bitch to play here if you're an opposing team because the environment is amazing. But if we roll into adversity and the tide shifts, we're playing more tight because we don't want to be reprimanded for something bad, and playing becomes more difficult. That sounds like a you problem. It does. It sounds like a you problem. Now, I do think there's something to be said about a baseball crowd at home when their team isn't living up to the standard. There is an eerie feeling, without a doubt. But that's not our fault. The fans react to what you do. And there are times when we understand it's desperation time, so we're trying to manufacture life and buzz, even though you're giving us pure vomit, even though you've been stinking, even though you're giving us absolute nothing. They try. They're on their feet. They're trying to cheer. You get a walk with 2 outs. You're at the bottom of the lineup. You're down 4. You're trying to ignite a fire the best that you can, but you're almost pointing the finger like we can't do our job because you guys are getting in the way with us emotionally. We can't succeed because we're getting uncomfortable with you so close to the back of our necks. You want us to do something so badly that you're pressuring us into feeling uncomfortable. That's the tone that I get from Nick. Nobody's discrediting that it does get eerie. It gets eerie. That's pro sports. That's the separator, though, between knowing how to manage these type of very important high-pressured moments. Do you think it's high-pressure moments to play in the Super Bowl? Do you think the Eagles fans want the offense and the defense to click during the Super Bowl? Is there too much pressure to go out and beat Kansas City 40-6 in the Super Bowl? Do you think there's pressure on Doug Peterson and Nick Foles to outduel Tom Brady in the Super Bowl? Do you think there's pressure in a 7-game series for the Stanley Cup Finals if you're down 2-0 at home? Yes, 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 yes. So that means you don't have the mental makeup and the mental fortitude to push through whatever that difficulty is to succeed in the playoffs. And the ironic part is, out of everybody, dating back to last year's failure, Nick, when he helped out in this game, I mean, he seems to be okay-ish. He has his bad and rough strikeouts, but that happens all the time with him. I want nothing to do with him moving forward, but I'm just saying it's ironic because there's people who struggle with it more than him. And I get it, he's keeping it real and this and that, but you know what he's terrible at? Understanding who the hell he's talking to. Because he said a few weeks back, and it was sort of thrown out the window because we were so eagled up, that Rob Thompson's a horrendous communicator. And now some are saying, well, maybe Rob is a horrendous communicator. We've been hearing Game 3, Ranger Suarez, forever now. It's Aaron Nola. Well, he's ready for Game 1. He's ready for Game 2. He's ready for Game 3. Nope. Ranger Suarez, nowhere to be found. Maybe he's a garbage communicator, and Nick was right. Even if he is right, meaning maybe there is some pressure when the fans want something and you're not getting, your job is to block that out and perform. I don't want to hear that today. What the hell is the matter with you? Same applies to Nick with Rob. Even if Rob is a bad communicator, which we find out, in what world does it make sense before a playoff run for you to talk to me and say, who says Rob's a good manager? Who said Rob's a good communicator? I didn't experience that ever. What the hell is the matter with you? The guy has no clue how to read the room. It's unbelievable. Just like my Emilio cigars are unbelievable, though. The opposite, though. Nick and the Phillies, unbelievable in a negative way. Dude, these Emilio cigars are so outstanding. It makes me fall in love with smoking my cigars at night. Listen, old school roots, new school attitude, locally owned, third generation made at Fabrica Oveja Negra, Nicaragua. These cigars are as good as it gets. There's only one cigar to smoke, and that's an Emilio cigar. If you go online, click the link down below in the description, you will see all the options they have available for you. So, if you're going golfing, here's a 4-pack for you. Bada bing, bada boom. You got the boys locked and loaded. If you're going to a family party, the aunts, the uncles, the cousin, it's for a 3-year-old birthday party. Maybe you sit out back by the pool, a nice couple how-do-you-do's with the family. Maybe after a long day at work, you want to go out back and enjoy the late fall weather. Bada bing, bada boom. Emilio Cigars. What if I told you that you get 10% off by using code BRODES10 at checkout, huh? How about that, baby? It doesn't get much better than that. Make sure you join the Emilio Cigar family today. Okay. You want to hear Alec Bohm? Let's hear Alec Bohm. This was Alec Bohm about big spots.
You're trying so hard that you just, whatever it is, you just kind of, it just gets you. You just kind of, I don't know how to explain what happens in those spots, but you just, everything's so heightened and you're so kind of like, you're just so hyper focused that you see something and you don't even know like why you swung or what, like it just happens. So that's just the part of the game where you got to slow it down as best as you can and stay within yourself and just try to just hit a little line drive up the middle or something.
So what I hear there, I mean, first off, wholly defeated. I mean, holy nothing. I mean, just flat out nothing. Broken man right there. That sounds like a guy that says, I can't figure out what I'm seeing, and I'm thinking I'm seeing something else when I'm really not, and my mind is so jumbled that I can't execute the way I want to execute on the biggest stage. Well, that means you're not that type of player. That means you can't handle it. And it seems like what I'm learning here, not that I needed to hear it from their words, I could watch their play and figure it out pretty quickly. But they don't have what it takes to be a championship caliber team. And they're farther away from that than we thought, right? We questioned them, but I think even a lot of us who questioned who they were, be honest, did you think that they would whimper out to the point where they just flat out embarrass themselves and suck this bad? Some of you may say yes, but, you know, I think Kyle Schwarber's NL MVP, regular season, and Bryce, and, you know, I think these guys deserve the benefit of the doubt that they could at least play baseball to some level. To some level. Maybe I'm wrong to think that. I didn't know if they'd necessarily win. I expected they could put up a decent fight, and maybe it's one of those you got the worst draw ever. I wouldn't have been surprised if this ended with us saying, man, that sucks. We have to have serious talks about serious change, but we do recognize that you went up against a behemoth that is most likely going to win this championship again, and I mean, it sucks that that's who you had to get matched up against. I wouldn't have been surprised if that could have been the takeaway. Instead, it's, you guys don't even know how to compete. You guys look to be the Oakland A's. You guys look to be the Pittsburgh Pirates. You look to be the Cincinnati Reds. Outside of Jesus Luzardo, a few guys, right? Jesus Luzardo, Christopher Sanchez. Who else? Bader's on one leg out there. He's getting a hit. Guy could barely move. Did you see him trying to get to first base? Barely can even move an inch. This dude steps up to the plate and gets a hit. Just like that. Bang. Snap of the finger. Puts you right into the outfield. Boom. I like Bader a lot. I'd love to bring him back, but there's so many discussions to have. What do you do with JT? What do you do with Ranger? What do you do with Nick? What do you do with Kyle? What do you do with Bohm? Some real conversations to have.